What's good, everybody? Cerebral94, gonna show you guys Gardevoir GX games for the standard format. We'll see how it fares up. It can be a pretty good deck. I would say it's one of the better decks, one of the best decks you could maybe try. Now that the format has slowed down, it's more appealing, I guess you could say. It's still not perfect, and you can still lose to a lot of yourself basically when you don't open well, when you can't get the Sylveon GX play maybe. But it's a good deck. It's definitely a good deck. Okay, so we have a pretty bad hand. I have the option to either open up with Tapu Lele GX or Oricorio. Terrible choices. And I'm going to go with Tapu Lele here. Yeah, because I do want to get the +1, get the energies with Oricorio, and at the very least, Tapu Lele GX, it can attack. It's one of those Pokemon that, we can attack at least. If we open with it attached to energies, it's going to get an attack off. So maybe it's not so bad. Have it there, pressure our opponent while we're setting up. So that's the plan here. Since I have the Apricot Maker and the Cynthia, I don't have to worry too much with, not playing down the Tapu Lele to get a supporter. So that's the thing. So I get to play first too, which is why, it's fine. Tapu Lele GX, we're going to attach energy. We can't attack anyway. By next turn, if we attach another one, we can attack. So Apricot Maker, I'm naturally going to get 2 Nest Balls here and get our Ralses. Let's play down the Oricorio to get me the Fairy Energies. One of the things that I forgot to mention with the deck profile is that this is one of the other weaknesses of this deck. If you use the Sylveon GX and you try to add the cards that way and draw a lot of cards for Lily and what have you, you open up yourself for copycat, giving your opponents free cards, and judge. Maybe that's even worse when they fuck up your hand and slow you down. So that's one of the other weaknesses of Sylveon GX that I neglected to mention. It always pisses me off when I forget something, but it is what it is. I just recorded the deck profile now, and I'm going to show you guys this first game. But okay, we're going to attach our Fairy Energy on the Tapu Lele here. Maybe we're going to use that to retreat anyway. And I have Volkner, I have Cynthia. We have the Rare Candy, so I might have even actually used Volkner, get the Ultra Ball in the deck, and get the Gardevoir GX out, the first one, quickly. So my opponent used Nest Ball, grabbed the Ho-Oh GX. This is a Pokemon that can be deadly, if they get the Kiawe, they play first, and then they start destroying you while you're trying to set up. It's a strong Pokemon, of course, but against Gardevoir GX, I feel like I'm in complete control. Even with the Choice Band, it can't get a one-hit knockout. I mean, as long as Gardevoir GX is on the bench, it's not like they can Guzma and use something like Kukui to get the one shot. So it's not really the greatest matchup for my opponent. He's going to have to deal with the fact that he's going to use big attacks and not get one-hit knockouts. So he uses a Tapu Lele GX, gets the Kiawe. I would imagine this deck would run like maybe 3 to 4 Tapu Lele GXs and a max of Kiawe to get that turn 1. You really want to get it if you're going to use this deck, Ho-Oh GX that way. You got to get the Kiawe early so that you have the far energies and start attacking. So, okay, a passive turn for my opponent as well, doing his own kind of setup. So let's see here. I'm going to use Volkner. Really don't have much of a choice. I don't want to Cynthia and get less cards than what I have in hand. And let's see, we have the Ultra Ball in the deck, of course. Thank God. I believe I should have checked when I used Nest Ball before. Okay, so I'm going to discard, let's see here, Sylveon GX, and I don't need the Escape Board, I suppose. We have the Switch, that might be better. Sylveon GX, if you have it in hand, is probably not good, unless you opened up with EV turn 1, and then you have the Sylveon, so maybe you can get the attack turn 1 anyway, without getting the Sylveon GX from the deck. So Gardevoir GX comes out, so at least I feel a little bit safe. One of the Ralses has managed to evolve. We're going to attach energy to Gardevoir GX, and besides Ho-Oh not being able to get one-hit knockouts on Gardevoir, the other thing is that this Pokemon, no matter what, needs 4 energies to use its attack. So it's an easy KO with Gardevoir GX. I don't need a lot of resources. Just 3 energies, and I believe it's enough to get the job done. even though it has 190 HP. So what are we going to do here is I'm going to use the switch, bring out the Oricorio, I guess as a decoy. Let's just use our resources in case he does run things like Judge. Being in a position where I have less cards in hand means I'm going to draw more cards. So I guess uh, what's it called? A foreseeing play on my part that didn't happen, but whatever. Put the Oricorio there as a decoy because one of the things that this deck can do is take advantage of my Tapu Lele GXs and the other Pokemon that he can get one-hit knockouts and target them with Guzma. You know, kill 3 of them and then he wins without touching the Gardevoir GXs. So I already have one Tapu Lele GX down, so that's already a target. So I have to do my best at least to not make it easy on him to get the KO. So that's why I use the switch as well, not just for potential Judge. Anyway, so we're going to use Cynthia. We drew another Cynthia, so okay, I'm going to get 5 cards, I guess. And let's see here. It'd be good if I get more Gardevoir GXs in play. We have our setup. And let's use the Energy Lotto. I'll get another Fairy Energy. Alright. Get our Gardevoir GX ready. And let's see here. I got a Mystery Treasure. Possibly don't want to really use another Tapu Lele if I don't have to, because it's an easy KO for my opponent. And he has played down the Turnitin GX. Now that's actually an annoying Pokemon too, because it can't do the 20 attack and soften Gardevoir, I suppose. And then Ho-Oh can come in to finish the job. Other than that, on its own, it's not really a threat. I guess it can power up a bunch of those fire Pokemon, but it's not really threatening. As long as I do my setup right, don't make any mistakes, and don't give him too much time to target my Pokemon down with Guzma, you know, I should be good. So we just had a pretty passive turn yet. So far, just passive turns. Both players setting up, not really doing anything. I'm going to aim to get my Gardevoir GXs out, and by now he should have realized that the more the game goes on, the more advantage I sort of get. Like, he can only do so much with Ho-Ohs, but for me, collecting energies and getting Gardevoir GXs out is I get more advantage. So he's finally going to start going to the offensive. Phoenix Burn with Ho-Oh GX, going to get the KO on Tapu Lele. So that puts him in the leading position, but I'm going to be able to easily retaliate here with Gardevoir GX. With 7 energies on both Pokemon, that's an easy KO. We're going to evolve into Curlier too. Nice, nice. Play down the DC on Curlier, and I don't even need to use the Field Blower maybe, since this Pokemon is going to get KO'd. So let's draw cards with Cynthia. Get more Gardevoir GXs out. I see our routes. Okay, that's not so bad. Play that down. It might even be in its interest to target down the small guys before they evolve into Gardevoir. We're going to use our Acrobike here. And let's see. A really tough choice of what to discard. Rescue Stretcher or Energy. It seems obvious that the Rescue Stretcher might be better in this scenario, but I really would have loved to have the energy in hand too, so we can take advantage of Secret Spring as well. That's the thing with Gardevoir GX, is that it's powerful, but if your opponent doesn't have energies on their Pokemon, or a lot of energies, you need a lot of energies yourself to get knockouts on these big GX Pokemon with 190 HP, and stage 1s, that's even worse. Even worse for Metagross and stage 2s. So in this case, it's not hard against the Ho-Oh that has a lot of energies, but in other Pokemon it's harder. So this is why you want to have a lot of Gardevoirs out. You want to have a lot of energies in hand, attach them with Secret Spring, that sort of thing. If you start to get a big Gardevoir GX going and they can't take it down, then it becomes like an unstoppable juggernaut that attacks and get one-hit knockouts all day. But that's like a very ideal scenario, ideal situation. Okay, so my opponent's going to promote the Turtonator GX there, likely using the GX attack. If he attaches another energy to attack me, he can, I guess, set me up for a KO, but he's not going to have the energies in play later on, and it makes it for an even easier KO for me. with Gardevoir. So he's going to use Nitro GX Tank, obviously. It's the best play. Power up the Ho-Oh GX there. And he also played down a Heatran. Maybe he'll power that Pokemon up too. Let's see. Yep. And yeah, he's being clever, not putting any energies on Tornador. He knows that is a bad idea. It's probably going to get KO'd. So Gardevoir GX comes out. I don't even need to use the stretcher. Good. I attach the DC. I know that's all I need to get the KO. And I make a silly play here, discarding Eevee. The silly play isn't discarding Eevee. I don't need that. It's silly because I use Mystery Treasure to grab Tapu Lele GX when I know that, no, I actually can't play this down. Why did I search this? I guess maybe to thin the deck, but it's not a Pokemon I feel like I'm going to play down because it is pretty dangerous. If I play this down, my opponent can target it, KO it, and then maybe they can get a KO on Gardevoir GX. So I don't play it down. I don't play it down, and we can't use Copycat since my opponent doesn't have a big hand. So I just attack and hope we get a few better tools to work with here. We don't really get a lot of good shit. Sylveon GX, I don't need. Tate and Liza isn't a supporter that's useful when I have, all these hands and all these cards in hand. So my opponent is going to promote Heatran and use a Copycat, his own Copycat. He's going to draw 6 cards. That's respectable. If Copycat can net you 6, then he's good. And at this point, though, I think I'm in control. Doing 160 with Gardevoir GX doesn't really matter. He doesn't get the KO. I'm going to be able to KO him, and then next turn, I can, if I get the Fairy Energies, I should be able to KO any of these other Pokemon. So we use our own Copycat now that he has 6 cards. I'm going to use Pokénav, get a Fairy Energy, I guess, so not bad. And he's in a position where he can't win no matter what. I basically have this in the bag. Gardevoir GX is still alive. He's going to get me a KO now. Next turn, he has to get rid of... Both Gardevoir GX are going to be threats. They're going to be filled with energies. So he can't get rid of both of them at the same time. And then no matter what he does, no matter what he promotes, it's going to get knocked out. At this point, even if he leaves a big GX Pokemon active, I have enough energy so that I can get a knockout just with Gardevoir GX. So this is where the unstoppable Juggernaut Gardevoir comes in. Once you do have a lot of energies in play, this deck becomes really broken. That's where it can't be stopped. No matter what tricks Zoroark GX can do, it fucks that deck up too. So this is why I think it's not a deck to be underestimated, but perhaps it's, well, not perhaps, it's definitely not the best deck of the format now, because it does have a few glaring weaknesses. And depending on what the opponent plays, if they play a lot of judges, if they play maybe even copycats and copy your big hands, they can outpace you, retaliate quickly, and then you lose. But in this case, my opponent goes GG. He knows that he probably lost. He still plays on though, sees if he can do anything. I usually do that too. But it's going to be a wrap. I guess he can get the KO with Tapu Lele here. Finish off this Gardevoir GX, but then the other Gardevoir GX is going to come finish the job. So it's GG. He's going to get another KO on Gardevoir. Not bad, not bad. And he came close, of course, but close is never enough in Pokemon TCG if you can't win. Even if you have one prize left, I'm going to finish him off with Gardevoir GX, and it's GG. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first game with Gardevoir GX. I'm going to upload more. I hope you guys subscribe, leave a like. Hope you guys share this video with your friends. And Cerebral24, what's up?